Hey. Taff and the out-of-this-world story from our space. When is enough enough? At one point, do we step back and say, no, I respect myself too much to be treated this way? Let's go over that today on our space. Don't be a doormat like our first OP. Caught my now ex-girlfriend in bed with a rando from Tinder. We had been together for over a year. There were red flags all over the place right from the beginning. Like the very first month of us becoming official, I found her hanging out with a guy she had met before. She actually had him pick her up outside of my house. I'm not sure whether they just hung out or they actually hooked up. I almost broke up with her then, but she apologized profusely and promised not to do it again. Only after a couple of months of that, I found her talking to lots of men on Tinder and Bumble. She also had subscriptions to these apps. Once again, I had my foot out of the door, but she persisted and begged for me to stay. I definitely regret doing this. Fast forward to last month. We almost broke up due to her needy, entitled behaviors that I don't want to rate down here, but reconciled and had a long discussion on how we should work together on loving each other. Although during this discussion, she revealed that she had kissed a guy the night before. She met this guy through old, before me, thinking she was going to break up with me. I wonder if that left a deep mark on her thinking and she somehow took that as a pass for cheating. After I caught her cheating, she unveiled that this guy actually went oral on her. Things took a sharp turn soon after this reconciliation. I was going to be gone for 2 weeks on a cross-country road trip with my friends. We both had cozy moments together before I started for the trip, and we both kissed, cuddled, made out, and expressed as much love as we could for each other. During the trip, I called her whenever I could from all of the places I visited. Some days I just didn't have signal since I was in the middle of nowhere. One night, she messaged me that she had to go to the ER because she had blood in her urine and how she was disappointed that I was not around to take care of her. I was startled by that comment because obviously I was on my trip far away. She then had me look up pharmacies that delivered medications around her, even though she knew I was in a place with spotty internet and signal, and also made me order some comfort food for her to feel better through DoorDash. I kept sending her food, flowers, and cards, wishing she got better for the next few days. After that, things were normal for a couple of days, and then suddenly, there was some kind of switch that turned on in her. During one of the calls, she mentioned that she wanted space for herself, and she wanted me to have fun on my trip and not think much about her. She had never mentioned this ever throughout the relationship. If anything, she was the exact opposite of it, craving for attention, admiration, upliftment, all the time. She also told me that she was going to meet 2 sets of friends on Friday and Saturday. As far as I know, she only had one group of girlfriends that she usually hung out with, so it was quite bizarre. This was deeply unsettling for me and made me uncomfortable given the past emotional affairs she had. I tried not to think about it since I was on the road trip and didn't want to be a downer to my group. I then texted her on Sunday morning asking her how her weekend was going so far, and she didn't respond to me until 11 p.m. She said it was fun and she was doing good, but deep within I had a hunch that it was all a lie and she most definitely had hooked up with someone, but I tried not to overthink it for the rest of my trip. The night before I flew back, I had sent her some food through DoorDash. She had wrist ache and couldn't cook, and I called her to ask whether she received it. She didn't take my call and later texted me saying she wanted to have time for herself and not be bothered. I respected that and didn't respond. The next day, I flew back and went straight to her place and she welcomed me with open arms. We hugged each other and she said she loved me and missed me a lot. We got intimate after that and watched a movie together. For some reason, she kept on saying I was really handsome and sexy the whole night. The very next day, she mentioned that she was going to meet her girlfriend again and wouldn't be free until the evening. Once again, I had a hunch that this was a lie too. She came back from the meetup in the evening and called me to go for a run with her, which I did. I later drove to her place and we cuddled on the bed for a bit. She suddenly started getting anxiety attacks and I hugged her tight to make her feel better. She talked about how she's afraid of being alone and how much she loves me for who I am. I hugged her and rained all my love on her to make her feel better. I sat and patiently listened to her and made sure she was okay before leaving her place around 3 a.m. in the morning. I told her that I was going to be busy at work due to the company offsite that week and wouldn't be able to meet her during the weekdays. Next evening, Monday, she texted me that she wanted to go out to a bar with me on Friday, and I agreed to it. Tuesday, she texted me at 11 p.m. and told me she was thinking about me and wanted me to stop by her place. I told her that I had to be at work at 8 a.m. the next morning. Wednesday afternoon, she texted me asking whether I was going to have dinner at the office, and I said yes. We had a team dinner. My dinner ended around 9 p.m. and I packed some food to go to give to her and headed to her place. I wanted to surprise her, so I didn't give her a heads up that I was coming. I reached her place around 9:45 p.m. and knocked on her door. She texted me she couldn't open it because she was with a friend on the bed. Yes, she literally texted me that. My heart skipped a beat reading it. I dropped the food on the floor and collapsed to the ground. She opened the door and rushed towards me to stop me from running back to my car. She pushed me inside the house and I saw this dude standing there wearing shorts. Apparently, she told him that we had broken up. I was so devastated and had thousands of questions in my head. She kept apologizing for hours and hours, but I was too tired and left. I told her I needed some time to think about this situation. The next day, she texted me in the evening saying that we were not going to meet Friday. I asked her whether she was going to meet someone else. She didn't respond for a while. Later that night, she sent me a big list as to why she cheated on me. Apparently, it was all my fault she cheated. The list contained things like, "You did not send me good morning, good night messages on time towards the beginning of the relationship. You cannot wait 15 minutes for me when you come to pick me up. You talk about blah." I was not happy reading all this and drove to her place to have a face-to-face conversation about these accusations. She said she would call the cops on me. She eventually let me inside, but had no interest in engaging in the conversation. We eventually broke up afterwards. Overall, I'm really heartbroken by the whole episode. It can't wrap my head around why someone would sabotage a relationship in such a disrespectful manner and put the blame on me. Looking for coping, grieving advice. Edit. I just found out that she had already started sleeping with another dude from Tinder just 4 days after breaking up. The community has some thoughts. Specialist 2138 says, "Unless you're really stupid, you must have realized that she wasn't loyal to you at all. You stayed with her knowing that she cheated many times. Get STD tests. Don't think about staying in a relationship with cheaters." J&H daughter chimes in, "Okay, this is going to be harsh. Sorry, but not sorry. You understand why she kept you, right? You're a doormat. She knew that she gets her way with you, and you kept taking her back even though she kept cheating on you. You don't love her. You love an idea of her that you made up on your own because, from what I'm reading, there's nothing that sounds good about her. She literally uses you and plays you, and you allow it because you're a pushover. You need to not be in a relationship for a very long time till you can learn your worth and gain some self-esteem and self-respect. Good luck to you, and you need to stop being the main character in your life, not a tool." Why stay after all those red flags, OP? I feel like at some point we really have to practice self-love and really try to see our value. If we can't value ourselves, we just let people walk all over us and treat us like options or trash. She was literally wiping her butt with you, OP. I'm sorry you were treated like this, OP, but I really hope this opened your eyes to how you should be treated, which is the exact opposite of this relationship. You've so much love to give. You've made that clear to us. Just don't waste your love and energy on people who don't give a crap about you or your love. It wasn't a relationship from the start. You basically said that yourself. It was you chasing someone who couldn't keep her hands to herself. You had a relationship with everyone she cheated on you with. Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. We shouldn't have to uncover our true selves after an infidelity, but sometimes that's what it takes. How my ex cheating turned out to be the best thing that ever happened to me. So I got with somebody in 2006, and very early on I started suffering with depression, anxiety, and paranoia, something I hadn't experienced before. He was great. He took real good care of me. He knew how to make me laugh when I was crying. He knew how to help me calm down during a panic attack. He was great. Except he wasn't. Because he was the cause of it all, and I didn't realize this until after we broke up, when I discovered he was cheating on me shortly after my 30th birthday in 2013. And then it came out. All the lies, all the suspicion. I hadn't been paranoid at all. I'd been right. But he gaslighted me so much, and for a prolonged period of time, he had worn me down so subtly, making me rely on him completely, that I couldn't trust my instincts. I didn't leave the house for around 2 years by myself because my anxiety was too severe. He had destroyed my confidence, my self-worth, my mental health. He cheated on me 3 times, he later confessed to. One time was shortly after we got married. So when I say him cheating on me was the best thing that ever happened, I mean because I found out and we broke up and I was free of him. I changed my life completely after that. I became strong and confident again. I remembered who I was. And now my life is great. I love my life. I have a wonderful husband, thriving businesses, and happiness. The community chimes in, first from Mize68. After I broke up from my cheating ex-wife, my life changed for the better. I got custody of both my kids, moved 3,000 miles from her, and restarted my life. I got a great job, great new wife of 20 years now, and both kids are grown and doing great. If I had stayed with my cheating ex, she would have brought me down and the kids probably would be like her, a loser. Null640 says, "Congrats on seizing your freedom. May you heal quickly." Wow, OP. I'm so sorry you had to suffer like that. It's unfortunate that sometimes we become so detached from ourselves and so emotionally abused that we can't quite listen to what our bodies are trying to tell us, and we really become blind to the red flags. That being said, I'm glad you found a way out of the darkness and that you're living your best life. We can't stay in the darkness forever. Way to go for taking back your power and really blossoming into the person you are meant to, and really valuing yourself as a human being. No turning back now. What do you make of this? What's the best thing you've ever learned about yourself in hindsight? And thank you for joining us today on Our Space. Like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video. Also, please let us know what you thought of today's content in the comments below. Until next time.